I never thought the woman who shoved me out of line and screamed about getting a free penthouse upgrade would end up apologizing to me right in the middle of the hotel lobby I owned. But that's exactly what happened. And the look on her face when she realized who I was, that was pure karma. My name is Maya Chen. I'm 32. I own a small chain of boutique hotels across the West Coast, and I have one personal rule: never announce myself when I visit one of my properties. I like to show up unannounced, check in under a fake name, and see how my staff actually treats guests when they think the boss isn't watching. That's how I catch the truth. The little things that reports never show. So that afternoon in May, I rolled my suitcase into the newly renovated Grandview Inn in downtown San Diego. The place looked stunning. Marble floors, gold accents, soft jazz playing under the crystal chandeliers. Everything smelled faintly of lilies and polished wood. Jessica, my front desk clerk, was helping an elderly couple check in. There were 3 of us waiting in line, me, the couple, and a business traveler with headphones. Everything was calm, until the doors flew open. She came in like a thunderstorm wrapped in hot pink. Mid-40s, platinum hair with dark roots, spray-tanned skin, leopard print top, fighting to contain her cleavage, and heels that hit the marble like gunfire. Her fake Prada bag slammed onto the counter so hard that Jessica's pen holder rattled. The lobby went quiet. She didn't even look at the line. She just hip-checked me out of the way. "I need the penthouse suite," she barked. "Right now. I'm a very important person and I refuse to stay in anything less than your best room." Jessica blinked, still smiling politely. "Ma'am, I'd be happy to help you, but I'll need you to wait in line." "Do you know who I am?" the woman snapped. "I'm Patricia Montgomery. I have 300 followers on Instagram. I post hotel reviews. If I don't get treated properly, I'll ruin this place online." I remember standing there, gripping the handle of my suitcase, trying not to laugh. 300 followers. My dog's Instagram had more than that. Jessica stayed calm. "Our hotel isn't part of any loyalty program, ma'am, but I can offer you a paid upgrade." "Paid?" Patricia's voice rose. "My husband's a regional manager at a car dealership. I drive a BMW. I don't pay for upgrades. You should be grateful I chose to stay here at all." That was the first moment I felt anger prickle under my skin. She wasn't just being rude, she was humiliating my staff in front of other guests. I took a step forward, still pretending to be a regular customer. "Excuse me," I said quietly, "but you did cut in line and push me. Maybe you could wait your turn like everyone else." She turned on me so fast her hair extensions caught air. "And who are you?" "The line police. Mind your business, honey. Go stand with the other peasants." "Peasants." She actually said that. In my lobby. I felt that cold, controlled kind of fury that hits right before you decide someone has just made the biggest mistake of their day. Patricia jabbed a nail at Jessica. "You have 30 seconds to give me that penthouse for free, or I'll call your manager, file a discrimination claim, and post a bad review everywhere. You'll lose your job by morning." Jessica's face went pale. Her hand trembled as she reached for the phone to call my manager, David. And that's when I decided to step in. "Wait," I said, taking out my phone. "You're an influencer, right? I'd love to follow your account. What's your handle?" Her expression softened instantly. "It's at Patricia Montgomery Luxury Life," she said proudly. "All one word. I only review high-end places." I typed it in, scrolled, and had to bite my lip not to laugh. 287 followers, 5 likes per post, half of them bots. Captions like, "Living my best life," under pictures taken in her car. I looked up and said, wow, very inspirational content. The businessman behind me snorted into his hand. Patricia mistook my sarcasm for praise. "Finally, someone who gets it," she said, glaring at Jessica. "Maybe you can explain to her how influencers deserve respect." "Oh, I completely agree," I said. "Real influencers, people who actually have influence, deserve respect. But you, Patricia, are not one of them. You're just a rude guest demanding free things because you think you're better than everyone else." Her jaw dropped. "How dare you speak to me like that? You're just another guest. You have no authority here." I smiled, reached into my bag, and pulled out my wallet. "Actually," I said, sliding a business card across the desk, "I do." She picked it up. "Maya Chen, owner and CEO, Grandview Hospitality Group." The silence in the lobby was electric. Jessica froze mid-breath. The elderly couple whispered, "Oh my God." The businessman muttered, "This is better than Netflix." Patricia's tan seemed to drain right off her face. I didn't know you don't look like an owner," she stammered. I folded my arms. "Owners don't have a uniform, Patricia. But here's what's going to happen. You're going to apologize to Jessica. Then you're going to go to the back of the line, wait your turn, and check into the standard room you paid for. And if you harass my staff again, you'll be escorted out without a refund." Clear. For a long moment she just stood there blinking like her brain had crashed. Then in the faintest whisper she said, "I'm sorry," to Jessica, and slunk to the end of the line. The sound of her heels was suddenly very small. I checked in with Jessica, who tried so hard not to smile. I could feel my pulse still racing. Part of me was proud, part of me furious that someone could treat another human like that. And then later that night, lying in my hotel room, the anger twisted into something else, doubt. Had I gone too far, I replayed it all in my head the way I'd called her out in front of everyone. Maybe I'd embarrassed her more than necessary. Maybe professionalism should have meant staying silent, letting security handle it. I sat on the edge of the bed staring at my reflection, wondering if I'd crossed a line between standing up for my staff and showing off my power. But then I remembered Jessica's face, how small she looked when Patricia yelled at her. I remembered the way the guests in line had gone quiet, all of us watching this woman humiliate someone just doing her job. No, standing up wasn't wrong. Staying silent would have been. That realization settled something deep inside me. The next few days I stayed as a normal guest, observing. Every staff member greeted me with warmth. The restaurant service was flawless. The housekeeping team worked like clockwork. Even Patricia, who had gone from roaring lion to silent shadow, kept her head down. She avoided eye contact with everyone, ate breakfast alone, and never raised her voice again. On my last evening, I met with David and the staff. We turned the whole incident into a training discussion: how to handle entitled guests, when to escalate, how to protect your dignity while staying professional. I told them straight, no one here has to tolerate abuse for the sake of a good review. Respect goes both ways. Jessica looked relieved, maybe even proud. "I was scared she'd get me fired," she admitted. "I didn't know you were there." "That's exactly why I come undercover," I said, "so I can see the truth." A week later, David emailed me a screenshot from TripAdvisor. Patricia had left a review, 2 stars. Owner was rude and discriminated against influencers, refused to upgrade me despite my status. I laughed out loud. Even in writing, she was living in her own fantasy. I typed a calm, professional response. "We treat all guests equally regardless of social media following. Our upgrade policies are clear, and our team reserves the right to refuse service to anyone who harasses staff." Within hours, the comments piled in. Strangers saying, "Sounds like you were the problem. 300 followers isn't an influencer, sweetie. Good for the owner for standing up for her staff." The internet did its thing, and Patricia's credibility evaporated faster than her spray tan. But karma didn't stop there. Word travels fast in hospitality. A friend at another San Diego hotel told me she'd tried the same stunt there, same speech about followers, same demand for a penthouse, and got herself banned. Twice. Some people never learn that shouting, "Do you know who I am?" is usually a sign that no one actually does. Still, that night after reading the review, I sat back and thought about everything. Power is a funny thing. Patricia thought power came from noise, bright clothes, fake jewelry, the illusion of influence. But real power doesn't shout. It doesn't need to. Real power stands quietly behind a counter, defends the people doing their jobs, and never lowers itself to arrogance. So when people ask me why I still do these undercover visits, I tell them this story. Because you never really know who's standing next to you in line. It could be the owner. It could be someone with the authority to end your tantrum with a single sentence. Patricia learned that lesson the hard way. And the truth is, I didn't enjoy humiliating her. I enjoyed restoring balance, reminding everyone in that lobby that kindness is the real luxury. Respect isn't bought with followers or leased cars or fake designer bags. It's earned through how you treat people when you think no one important is watching. Because the moment you forget that someone like me might be standing right behind you, watching every move and waiting for the perfect moment to hand you your karma,